What's up, guys? We are back for another review, taking a look at some Grossery Gang figures. And if you've seen my reviews previously, you know I am a huge fan of these toys. They very much remind me of toys from when I was a kid. Late 80s, early 90s, they've just got that general gross factor that was prevalent all the time in toys back then. We're skipping around a bit because I haven't been able to find the end of Series 4 figures, so we're going straight to Series 5, which are the ones I have been really looking forward to. So we're taking a look at the Time Wars figures. These were shown back at Toy Fair, I believe, is where we first saw these, I want to say. So we've got the new powered up Putrid Pizza. This is the caveman version because he's got a couple versions in this wave. We got him. We have got the powered up gooey CHEWY, and this package took a bit of a beating when I got it. But he is kind of a ninja type version this time around. And then the one that I'm really excited about is the main bad guy. So this is SLOP Pizza. So this is the future version of Putrid Pizza. And you can see they have that same kind of card back that we've been used to, the very 90s, the gross out kind of theme going on. Figures are on the bubble. And then the back has a bio for what's going on with the time theme, a bio for this individual character, and then a cross-sell for the, 9 different figures in this wave, with a lot of these being brand new, like the Jock Slop Burger, Potato Punk. The Space Jump Pumpkin is the one I really want to see. And then there's a Pirate Shark down there too. So these are kind of all over the place with their theme. So we're going to pull these guys out and take a closer look. Alright guys, so here are our Time Wars figures for the Grossery Gang, and I gotta say right off the bat that I am really happy with these figures. I know they're really small, they're kind of niche, you know, certain people are only gonna want these, certain people are gonna think they're just the dumbest thing ever, but I'm sure kids absolutely go crazy for these, and there's a reason why they keep pumping these out. They have to be doing well. So we've got some new changes in terms of character selection in this wave. We've got a few changes, you know, in terms of this guy in particular. He is definitely the same type of character as Putrid Pizza, but he's not the same, and he's definitely very different in terms of sculpt. We've got some differences with their weapons and in terms of how you get to use the little exclusive groceries that come with them. So there is a decent bit to talk about here, and I'll do some comparisons with Putrid Pizza to the other ones. I don't have the first GOOEY, unfortunately, so I don't have him to compare against, but we'll talk about articulation and paint and sculpt and all that good stuff, and then we'll get into what makes these guys different from the rest. Now, as far as articulation goes, these guys are basic figures, so they are going to be, of course, slightly limited in terms of how they move and what they can do, but I think they've got enough articulation in here to actually accomplish what they're going for with this line. So the heads are on a ball. You can rotate them, you can look up and down a little bit, they can bobble a little bit. Arms can hinge outwards, swivel all the way around. Legs can hinge outwards, kick forward, kick back, and then they can also rotate in that joint as well. So you've got a decent amount of articulation for a small budget type price point line. All of these figures are basically the same in terms of what they can do. Of course, some are going to be slightly more limited than others. So, you know, say Putrid Pizza, for example, he's not going to have much bob action because his head's going to hit his shoulders right away, but the legs are unencumbered and things like that. SLOP Pizza, however, is a little different. He has the same articulation, but he is not in any way the same sculpt as the regular Putrid Pizza. So his head is actually jutting forward, and it's on a ball as well. So he can look down and he can look up and he can bobble a little bit, but he's just a different sculpt in terms of what he does. The joint system is the same, it's just in a different place for this guy. Now, as far as sculpt and paint goes, that's where this line really shines for me. Obviously, they're not groundbreaking or, you know, collector level type of designs or sculpt or paintwork, but they look so cool and they're fun. And they very much, like I said, remind me of toys from when I was a kid with that gross out factor and all the slime and the trashy nature and the gooiness and all of that stuff. It's just fun. It reminds me of being a kid. So we've got GOOEY, we've got Putrid Pizza. These guys have been in the series before. This is actually, these two make my 4th versions of Putrid Pizza. GOOEY has another figure in the first wave, which would have been Series 3 for when they started doing figures. I just don't have him. But he is a very similar figure to what he was. He's basically a ninja type character this time around. So this Time Wars version of him, he's wearing kind of ninja type outfit with the mask and with the kind of geek type outfit that he has on. And then, of course, you know, GOOEY, he's made from gum. That's basically what he is. And he has covered in kind of a slimy type texture. So he looks like he's kind of oozing down all the time. He's got those huge bug eyes. And then he has this enormous blaster cannon here, which is just molded in green plastic. It's got kind of a ninja throwing star type thing going through it. And all of these are the same type of system for accessories that you're just supposed to flick them out. There's no spring-loaded action or anything like that. And then, of course, he comes with the exclusive Grossery that looks similar to him, where he's in that ninja type outfit. And I'm going to talk about this now, because what's cool with these is previously I didn't really know what to do with these things because I'm not in it for these little guys here, but now they are sculpted in such a way that you can pop them on the top of the gun. So, you know, use them, don't use them, but they offer some play value with these now, at least for people who maybe don't necessarily collect just the tiny little blind bag groceries. As far as our Putrid Pizza over here, he is very similar to the previous entries, and I'll do a closer comparison here in a minute with the rest of them, but he's got that caveman motif. You see he's got his kind of loincloth, he's got the tooth necklace, the head is very much reminiscent of the other ones that we've seen, and then of course he's got all of that pizza detail painted on. Not much on the backside on these, usually is the case. He has a rocket launcher type weapon as well with his Grossery affixed to the top. The weird thing about this one though is that this is a log, so I don't know what it's shooting or how it's shooting it, but he's got some caveman technology going on there. So I really dig the aesthetic. And what I like about that is that, you know, this is all time-based, so they're all going in and out of different time periods. And this version of Putrid Pizza is a caveman, but they went the exact opposite direction and gave us this cyber slop Putrid Pizza type character here, who is an entirely different sculpt. There is nothing that seems to be shared about this guy except for maybe this left arm. The head is entirely different because he's got this big mechanical jaw. You see he's got all these cyborg parts here. He's got a cybernetic body, cybernetic arm and leg, and then he's got the kind of gooey, nasty arm and leg over here on the side. And like I said previously in Articulation, he is sculpted differently. The head sits on the front of the chest rather than on the shoulders. He's got a big cape, which actually hangs really well. It's sculpted in such a way that it really hangs just this one way, which I'm perfectly fine with. And then he, of course, has his big blaster, which is different from the others, and he has his Grossery on top, and his is actually even a little more different because his isn't just rubbery plastic all the way. I'll knock him down. Let's just knock him down. His is plastic on the bottom, so it actually has a firm plastic piece there, so you can pop it on, and his stays on a lot better. The other ones are fine. They don't really have an issue coming off, but his stays on, and once it's on there, it's on there unless you take it off. So yeah, these guys absolutely look the part. They definitely fit in with the overall aesthetic, and I dig the fact that they are all one cohesive theme, but they're kind of all over the place at the same time. And like I said, just for the sake of comparison, here is the two new Putrid Pizzas alongside the two previous ones. So this guy right here is the original. This is the Bug Strike version that came afterwards, and then these two. So you can see that this guy does share a lot of similarities, especially in the head with the original one. This one is different. It's got it's got the bandana, he's got the different eye. They obviously have different weapons, and then this guy is just an entirely different story altogether. He might as well be a different character entirely. Obviously, he's a different futuristic version of Putrid Pizza, but he just looks a night and day difference in terms of overall sculpt. There's very few shared parts going on with this guy compared to what this guy does. So yeah, at the end of the day, I am once again pretty happy with some gross food themed toys. I wasn't expecting any different though. I really do like this line. I think it's really fun. I think it's very different from pretty much anything else you can find on store shelves right now. And that's part of what draws me in, because it is different from what we have now, but is also very reminiscent of what I had as a kid. I think they do a good job with their sculpt, with their paint. I like the fact that they are reusing parts, but they're not going too crazy with it. They are definitely giving us new characters while giving us very different versions of characters we've already had. So I can appreciate how they're trying to bring these things to market. I definitely think this is a fun line for kids. It's definitely a fun line for people my age who remember Food Fighters from the 80s, stuff like that. So yeah, if you haven't taken a look, I would urge you to check these out. They're definitely fun. Throw them on your desk. Put them in some weird toy photography with other characters that they have nothing to do with. I'm sure you'll have a great time with them. So that's going to do it for this look at the Grossery Gang Time Wars figures from Moose Toys. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and until next time.